Okay.
Hello, and welcome back to this week's podcast. I guess some of us are in other locations, and some of us are in same locations with wider angle camera.
Uh-huh.
This week's podcast will be brought to you by taking care of your meatbag self and starting an illustrious hot tub streaming career.
Great.
Yeah.
This week's podcast is also brought to you by packing and heat death.
I am your host, Madison.
I'm your other host, Jesse James, and welcome to our conversational leftist mukbang. And we've been not present for a couple weeks, so that and the fact that I've had about a day and a half of not constantly moving in total are going to lead into an amazing podcast.
As per usual, but yeah, we're coming off a couple of weeks of a couple of weeks of not recording due to various things, but it's been really fucking hot.
Yeah.
And oh, okay. I'm receiving images from you.
Yep.
Oh no.
just wanted to make sure I got those in there before I forgot.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah.
I forgot Andrew Yang existed until this moment.
This is the first time, today is the first time in my life where I've been like, where are those photos of Andrew Yang on my phone? So, like, you know.
Yeah. Well, should I describe the memes?
I mean, you can. Yeah.
Wait, what? In what context?
I don't know why
What
he
is
was
happening?
So I saw this picture and I was like, what the fuck is this? Because my first thought was like, this looks a lot like that assembly at my high school that was the last assembly I ever went to, because I used it to argue that I shouldn't have to go to assemblies if they're going to do shit like that at them. But in the assembly I went to, it was the football team feeding bananas to the cheerleaders in exactly the way that Andrew Yang is spraying
Who allowed this?
into that guy's mouth. Well, it was a race to see who could eat the banana the fastest. But also, in this case, I think it was just this guy being like, Andrew Yang, feed me some whipped cream. So
please, Andrew Yang. Basically,
give me the cream.
Give me.
So
well, very.
Yeah.
I like the Yang Bros image. I feel like this man is all of us.
Well, that man, I'm pretty sure, is a porno actor, because
like, all of us.
I think that's why he's photoshopped into the one with the Brazzers logo.
I see. Yeah, that makes sense. My favorite subway station is Times Square, coming in fourth despite millions in free airtime. Good. Well, that's the meme, everyone. I read it to you, so now you are on the same page as both of us.
I obviously am coming from a basement. There will be lags on my feed because I'm in a basement, but it'll probably not be that noticeable later. Also, I have like a smoker's cough because the air quality in Seattle is fucked again. So, hooray.
Yeah. Yesterday was the 4th of July, so woo. Yeah, yay.
Yeah.
Did you do anything in particular for celebration?
I was invited to a barbecue that I planned to go to, and then I didn't. Okay. There were some medical things in the household, with the people I'm staying with. So the setup we had for going to it seemed like a bad idea in case something more important came up.
Yeah.
But that's fine. Honestly, I've spent most of my time this long weekend up until now either inside trying to sleep all of the just horrible pretty much every kind of like trauma you can have from moving off, and then also I don't know, like I'm a basement person for this month, which is fine. I've been a basement person in some way for a while. Basement king, you could say. But like this is the most like I mean, this is a nice room. I'm not gonna give this shit. But as we've sort of planned, after this, I'm probably going to switch to a feed on a portable device here and show you what I'm working with. This is a very strange house that my friends have bought.
I'm excited to see based on what you've told me.
To the right of me is much larger than you think for being underground. But there are some of the scariest rooms you've ever seen as well. And for example, the master bedroom is shaped like a horseshoe, I guess. It makes no sense. It is a crazy area that they have taken up residence in, and we're also down by the airport. So my new route to work includes literally I am going on a bus through the drop-off line at the airport on my way to work now.
Oh, that sounds
very
fun.
weird. So now every morning when I go to work and every night when I come home, I'm going through drop-offs.
Nice.
I don't know. That's what I'm doing.
That's a fun little scenic route to take.
Yeah.
That seems like some excitement added into your day.
Hey, it's a very good reminder of like, oh right, I gotta get the fuck out of here, man. so like it's working for that.
That's good.
I'm also living out of like, I don't know, what would probably equal about 5 suitcases worth of stuff. Which honestly is extremely liberating after the events of packing that I will get into in a little bit here. You want to talk about the opposite of optimal holes, of course, the title of our last podcast. That's what packing was. Also, we now have, I think, 3 things you can type into YouTube that we're the first result
and it's
of.
Just us.
Just us. It's optimal holes. It's blasphemy power hour, and it's one other one. Oh, the
Is it the After Dark?
No, it's the moist meat machine or whatever.
Oh, good.
So those 3 are the ones that we pop up first for, which is just fantastic.
You know, if I'm going to be searchable on the internet, that's how I want it to be. So.
Same.
At least I can sleep well. I can sleep well knowing that no one in my family will ever search those terms specifically. I'm pretty sure.
Hey, you would hope.
Most. Well, now that I've said it, it's not gonna. It's gonna be the opposite of that. But ideally, in an ideal world, that's not how they come across me on the internet. But
you better hope that your brother doesn't get into some weird porn or get like negative tryptophobia, because optimal holes is out there. So.
Fuck yeah, that's true. Should we go through snacks and drinks?
Yeah, let's let's get into the mukbang. See if I can find something to make my smoker's cough go down.
Good, good, good. Shall I go first?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, as I was just telling you before we started, I went to the Asian market today, and I found this little canned drink that is called a sake jelly shot.
Okay.
So
I'm into that.
I don't really know what to expect. I don't know if there's actual jelly or something, but there is a diagram saying that I need to do this. So I have some high hopes, and it's yuzu flavored.
That sounds pretty good. I had some yuzu sake recently, and it was very good as well.
Yuzu anything is, pretty optimal. So, fuck. Okay. It's fizzy.
Okay. Get in there.
Jelly right away. There is jelly.
We got jelly, everybody. Yeah?
I think I just drank like a disc that had been at the top of the can. It felt very disc-like in my mouth. The mouthfeel is good.
You ever...
I might have to pour this into a glass because I want to see this shit.
Yeah, I kind of do too. You ever seen a very short and specific video called Turkey Slurpee? It's just an internet video that gets passed around. Okay. That's what that reminds me of. So if anybody does know about that, and you probably will later if I remember to send it.
Yeah.
That's how it can go wrong.
Okay. Well, I guess later when I see that, inevitably, we'll figure out how similar they are. But that is drink one, and then I have a bunch of Sapporos in the fridge because I'm not a monster.
Because you like then good fucking beer.
Exactly. And then I have these from your birthday box. Parm crisps, jalapeno flavored. Unfortunately, not jalapeno wine flavored.
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't find. Actually, shit.
Oh no.
I got a little bit of the bag left. Why don't you try that out, and I'll go get the bag.
Okay, I'll provide the ASMR early on in the episode. These, ooh, they do look crispy.
Those are good, by the way.
I have high expectations because anytime you turn cheese into a chip or something that I can eat with some that has some shape to it, I am excited about it. So yeah, that's good. Oven baked. There are chunks of jalapeno that I just got straight in the back of my throat. They suggest pairing these with your favorite bottle of wine, or putting them on a salad, or on a soup. So yeah, I could see that. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Here we go. A nice little glass.
Oh, you can't hear me yet.
Oh, I can.
bit into. Oh, good. I bit into one, started chewing, and then swallowed it. And one of the very few chunks of jalapeno immediately stuck in the back of my throat, and I choked a little bit. But they're very good.
At least it's on camera. I guess I'll follow that up with this just because I went and got it. Let's get this nice and in here.
Yeah.
So I do want to note that I was peer pressured into getting this.
That peer was me.
I thought it would be funny to be like, I can't believe they're selling this for $20 at the airport. And then it turned out that I needed to have it. So I have it now, and it was enjoyed by some people on my second birthday, which I will say, because of the jalapeno wine lemonade, I would count definitely as birthday number 2. And so, just first off, I want you to look at the...
It's a little green.
It's a little green. It's a little grainy, which can be hard to tell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm leaning forward like that's gonna help.
But I do that too. No.
That's... So what flavor is at the front of this lemonade? Is it lemonade flavor, jalapeno flavor, or wine flavor?
See, the flavor is kind of all three at once, but like very, very neutral for what you would expect.
Would you consider this a good mixing thing?
Probably not. But let me describe it real quick. So it's like all three of those flavors, and not the hot jalapeno flavor, but just like the sort of vegetable flavor, all mixed together. It's only slightly warm after you've swallowed it. Which, okay, but it's...
I tried to hold it together. You could have let that go.
Yeah, okay, yeah. But the what I'm gonna try here is maybe make this a little hotter on the uptake.
Ooh.
And maybe that'll help it along, because
I think that'll help it.
Yeah.
Most things are helped by bourbon. Is that bullet?
Yeah, that works much better. Okay,
yeah,
that's a drink.
Much better.
That's a thing I can drink. The other one, there's a reason why it's been like 2 weeks and it's still kind of just a floppy bag of jalapeno wine lemonade.
Yeah.
Which would make a good drag name if somebody hasn't taken it.
That would be very good. Everyone, take note.
Do you, and it's free, I'm not using it. Do you have any more items?
Yes, I have 2 more items, and then I'll go get a glass for this so we can see some visual. I have this dark chocolate that I got at the store. I really like the packaging for these. They do a cool job of like doing fun patterns and stuff. But
so that flavor sounds really good.
Yeah, cinnamon, cayenne, and cherries and dark chocolate, and it's 60% dark chocolate, which is a good amount.
Yeah, 60 to 70 is usually the tastiest.
That's the good stuff. And this stuff actually is very spicy. Like, I don't think of cayenne usually as being super spicy, but it builds and it gets to be a lot after a minute. So, and there's little chunks of cherries in there, so it's good.
I like stuff like that helps me helps me actually have like a reason to chew it. Because otherwise I just sort of let it sit, and I feel like that can be overbearing for chocolate.
Yeah.
You getting some flavors in there?
Yeah, it's spicy. It's very spicy.
I might actually have to look for that, because I am often looking for actually spicy chocolate.
Well, I'm also a kind of a little bitch when it comes to spicy things. So
okay. But you actually wanted to eat things that had some spice to them while I was there, which is past a lot of my friends out here. So
Okay.
I trust you
I'm
more
at
than
least
I trust.
open to the experience.
Yeah.
And my speaker decided to turn off. And then my last item is from you, also an item from my birthday package, and it is addressed to the Dairy District, which is where I live, but no one come looking for it.
Also, don't show that too prominently because I don't want anybody from work, they won't watch this, to know that I can tie ribbons because I don't want to do that.
Oh, okay. Wow, this ribbon tying, shoddy work.
That's right. It sucks.
Really bad. 0 out of 10.
Thank you.
Okay. This is. Oh no.
What?
Oh, Tippy Cow orange cream liqueur rum something.
Oh, what's this?
Oh, is
it's
yours chocolate flavored?
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty good. Ooh, I just want to try this by itself.
Oh no, that was the intention.
Okay, good.
It's also like 14% by volume. I haven't tried these. I had to look up their website to be like, I don't have to refrigerate this, right? And they were like, no, fuck that.
No, that's not necessary. We don't do that shit here. This is from Wisconsin. Where did you find this?
It was given to me by a Wisconsinite.
Ah,
yeah.
Excellent. You have the hookup for Tippy Cow.
I have trash hookups all over the world.
Kind of the best ones to have. All right, I'm gonna do it.
Okay. That is milkier than I expected. There's more of it in here than it felt like there was.
Are you doing the whole thing?
Thinking about it.
It's just gonna. I don't have anything that I can mix with this. I don't think there's anything. I have rosé.
You can't mix. What normal person would be like, I don't know, I'm gonna pour it into milk. Like, what can you put this in?
Hot chocolate?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll accept that. I think that's it though.
I mean, I wouldn't put this one in hot. Well, I don't know, maybe. It is very creamy, so it could actually work.
Also, this one tastes like a Mr. Sketch, so I wouldn't put this into chocolate milk or anything.
This is I like this. I like the orange cream one.
Okay, I picked that one because I was like, this has the best chance of being decent. Because I do technically have a third one, but it is just vanilla flavored, and I think that might be fucking disgusting. So
it'll either, I feel like based off this one, I will say that one will probably be either really, really good or fucking disgusting. Because it's very creamy, like in a very pleasant way.
The cream factor is not bad. You are correct.
This is a very fitting Dairy District gift. It's very perfect.
Apparently, the one that I didn't get that was drank beforehand was a mint chocolate. So I will need to track that down at some point because that seems like it could be good or terrible, and I want to know.
There's some potential there, I think. Okay, I'm gonna go get 2 glasses because I want to see this as well.
Yeah, I would like to see how creamy its exterior is. Let me see. Oh, of course I brought this with me, down to the essentials.
Perfect.
Hey, everybody missed this, right? Secret to packing all of your things and getting rid of like over half of them is number one, have some have a roommate that is helpful and have friends that are good at inspiring you to not want things anymore, because that is definitely where I had to take it. I threw away 4 garbage bags of clothes. I'll probably have to reiterate that because that seems very Madison related in terms of things that would happen in a move. And like an entire garbage bag full of old shoes. Hey,
how's your garbage bag full of old shoes?
I was explaining that I threw away like 4 garbage bags full of old clothes and a garbage bag of old shoes, and I still have a lot of clothes.
This is so orange.
Oh.
It's pretty. I mean, yeah, this is about what I would expect. Like, I don't know if I can really.
Yeah, that's visually very creamsickly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, cheers, I guess.
Cheers. Wait, I'm gonna pour this.
Actually, yeah. Why don't you pour that and we'll cheers to.
Ah!
Huh.
Did you? Oh no!
Yeah, keep pouring. Slower though. Oh, good. This one may not need the visual reference because I think we might have our video taken down.
Oh no! I don't like this. It's so.
Oh yeah, yeah. That drink needs to have more water.
There's so much still in there. How do I even go about this? Get. This is a problem. Oh no.
Oh boy. Okay, well.
Oh, this is like so unpleasant. Okay. Oh.
Boy, that color really. They could have done something.
It wouldn't, like, if they put the jelly into like little cubes or something, that would have been nice. But they were really like, no.
Like
I feel like
nobody's gonna pour this out, right? Okay, well, cheers, I guess. Fuck. Get in there.
Cheers. It's so tense.
Okay. Yeah.
I feel like I just spilled it everywhere.
Yeah,
I'm trying to like, how do I make everyone experience the jelly sounds that I'm experiencing right now? Oh, there's just jelly in my jacket.
Well, I would say put your hand over it and hold it up next to your mic.
My hand is not going to cover this. No, this is not going to work. No. Sorry, everyone. You just don't get to experience this along with me. What do I do with this?
That'll be okay. I think visually, it's pretty obvious what it sounds like, really.
Okay. I
Visually,
feel like
it looks like something that a My Little Pony would be melted into, and then I would have to get a Twitter account or something.
That's how I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yuzu. The flavor's actually fine. It's just everything else about it is wrong.
What brand is that? Because now I need to get one to experience.
The brand is Ikezo, Ikezo,
Okay.
and their tagline is "Fun for life."
Okay.
So, yeah,
That sounds like
sure is for life.
that sounds like something you would get printed on a shirt to make yourself the target of street violence.
Yeah, well, I'm about to do street violence after I've had this drink and this drink.
Well, it'll be the Black Widow hours, so you can do street violence after that.
That's true. I can go out and give the finger to more spiders.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I just really love a drink that I can chew.
I enjoy drinks with boba in them, but when the whole drink is like, yeah, that's thick.
Can you see how the bubbles in there are like nothing? This is like tadpole water.
That looks like the end of Don't Breathe. I'm not a fan of what's happening. Oh, sorry. I thought maybe you hadn't seen that movie. I was hoping that would be covert.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no.
Anyway. Well, I got some drinks.
Yeah, we are we're half an hour in and I'm already kind of drunk. So that seems like a good place to start.
Yeah, absolutely perfect for our level of discourse this week. I mean, if we had done this Thursday when we initially planned, I would have been fucking blasted. So we're probably better off. So first off, I got these Blue Heat Takis. These were waiting for me along with a somewhat ominous message when I got to Boise. That is blue as shit in there.
Oh, dear God. What's the first ingredient on there?
We got corn flour. Corn flour. God. Corn flour. Yeah, we don't get to potassium chloride till we get to like ingredient 6. So I think we're good.
Oh man. Dang it.
Yeah, let's see. That doesn't look edible.
Yeah. What is even the flavor supposed to be?
So it's listed as extreme heat. And I would label this as maybe slightly spicier than the jalapeno wine lemonade. So it is not hot. If you are a fan of citrusy chips,
That sounds good.
Yeah, I would actually crumble this up onto stuff like for a topping because I think everybody could eat it just fine. But it definitely, you could definitely make a weird cake with this and like if you made a, I might do this later. I like to test
Your
out
tongue
kitchens.
is already super blue.
Oh yeah. I like to test out new kitchens by making cakes in them. So provided I find a place in the Boise area, I might make a patterned cake with these and Flamin' Hot Cheetos because I think that color dynamic would work well.
Uh-huh.
And if you do like a really buttercream forward cake, I bet the spiciness would actually go pretty good on it.
That sounds really good, actually.
But I can't think of much else I would do with it, honestly, other than like hide it in casseroles so that people are like, "What's in this casserole?" Anyway,
why is the casserole blue?
Yeah, onto something that is slightly actually spicy, not terribly. But I picked these up at the Asian market by me, and they are mala flavor salmon fish skin chips.
Yeah.
And I've had a few of these since I went, and they're like sort of like non-pork rind pork rinds. They're just fish instead.
That's good.
They are actually kind of spicy. And they taste very good.
I'm glad that they're actually in like big chunks of skin, so you can actually see what it is, and it's not like a, I don't know, just a little square or something.
The image on here is exactly what they look like, which I also appreciate. I doubt that this will reflect to what's down there. No. But I have what is essentially just a let me take a picture. I'll get my knee in the shot so people can see what I'm working with. This is my current table that, oh, come on. Don't twist the photo, dipshit. This is my table that is where everything that I do in this room is kind of centrally located. And it's just the top of a big bin with currently a bunch of food on it.
Yeah. That seems like a good use for the top of a bin.
So next up, I got this. Y'all know Jungkook. Y'all BTS fans out there.
Uh-huh.
Well, I got his
If they're
coffee.
watching this podcast, they know. Oh!
Yeah.
That's very exciting.
Uh-huh. So I'm going to be cracking into that here in a minute. I got a backup, of course, whether I drink it today or not. Some classic Mr. Brown.
Ooh.
They have, okay, so the HK Mart here, the Hong Kong Mart, they have all the coffee options except Boss Coffee. So they're really like firing on all cylinders. I think I sent you at least a picture of what that place looks like, or I posted one maybe. It's complete. We also got a bunch of Korean barbecue stuff there, including kangaroo meat the other night.
Which you described to me as being similar to bear.
Yeah,
which is a reference that is good for maybe 10 people.
Oh, come on. I'm gonna make you try bear for sure, but
I'll try
it's
bear.
pretty good. I'll try it.
I chose my words very carefully. I said I will try bear.
I wasn't even thinking that. I also have this from recently. This is a very big ramen.
That is huge.
So I may be cracking into this. This 14-ounce of ramen, which I think is over double the normal ones. I also have, I thought I was getting, let's see if you can even see it. You won't be able to see it on the stream, I guess, but up in the shelving that I have here, I got a box of these and I was like, it looks like there's probably like the standard Asian market snack, like 8 of these in this box.
Mm-hmm.
They're saltine crackers with cheese lemon flavor. So they're a 3-stack, and it has a cheese that's like a white cheese foam and then a like key lime, like lemony foam. You can see this little tag in the corner that just says cheese lemon.
Cheese lemon.
The thing that I wasn't expecting is that there's like 40 of these in that box. So I guess I have weird snacks covered for like my entire trip.
You've got a lot of cheese lemon ahead of you.
Yeah. Currently, I'll probably be in this basement area until like a week or so into August, since I will be going from here to fucking somewhere, and hopefully this is stuff that I'm sure I'll get more into as we get more into podcasts of the future. But looking at options for driving a truck to Idaho is exciting.
It's a super fun trip.
It also has to be with people who are willing to deal with the absolute garbage that I have as a person and taking that with me. The only thing that I am truly excited about is some of the stuff that I put away when I moved to the last place is like, I'm not going to bother people with this, because now I'm in a position where I want to bother people with it. So like I'm not bringing my accordions or my saxophone or my drum or my clarinet or any of that, or my violin or the other noise-making things that I have, save for the ones I use here. However, I did pull out my electric guitar and figured this might be important later. So I have my electric guitar and my amp, and based on my history, that could be a real problem when I get out there. So we'll see.
I don't think so. I think that all seems good. That seems good to have.
Yeah. I also have some figs, because I don't know, is that healthy? I also have a vestige of the last apartment, one blueberry beer. So I will probably crack into that once I defeat this.
I am like, gotta look at this can again. There needs to be more alcohol in this. The payoff, not great. Like,
you know what the payoff is. The payoff. No. The consistency, the color, the ambiance.
Ambiance. No, it's not very. Oops. Sorry, everybody. I wonder what.
You have some questions about the goo?
I always have questions about the goo, but I am wondering what I could add to this to make it worthwhile, because right now I'm in a mode where I'm like trying to just drink it as fast as possible to get it done.
Yeah.
And over.
Yeah.
And the only thing I have is Brenovan, and that's not gonna work.
Well, I mean, you're
Remember
right.
what I said earlier about street violence?
Yeah.
It's street violence o'clock.
Okay. Well, you're right.
Oh shit! There it is, falling already.
Wait, what's falling?
Me, off the chair.
Oh, that's to be expected.
Yeah. These are very good.
Oh, those crackers? Yeah. I saw those. So my shitty labeling of stuff to be funny was a secondary thing. initially it was, these crackers are very good and I need to send them. Because I didn't see those when I was out there, or I would have bought them already. So I figured that needed to be shared, and then I found some things that are stupid. Anyway.
That's how it goes.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, welcome to the inner workings of my stupidity. This, I will say, there's not an internal heat to this jalapeno wine lemonade, but there's an external heat to everything.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that I don't know why I put a jacket on, because now I'm very sweaty.
Yeah, I don't know why you did
Mm.
either.
Felt right. It's starting to feel less right.
I was really excited for the heat wave to be over, because I have like I didn't keep a ton of jackets with me, especially. I kept like 2 and like an overshirt.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all ones that I would love to be able to wear, and I'm just not going to be able to. And it sucks, because I like them.
That's
Anyway.
kind of my situation with these and all of my sweaters also. Like,
yeah.
I don't think I'll get into the sweaters, because then I might actually die. But if maybe like a month from now, I'm going to start breaking them out. And it's still going to be probably like in the 90s.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do it anyway.
I fully intend that any of the moving that I do this year is going to be just hellish. So I could get into that. I could get into that for a second while I crack into this Jungkook cold brew.
You crack into your cold brew. I'm going to crack into my nicotine bags. Hi,
flavor?
class, individual.
This is a Madison nicotine bag.
This is cool mint flavor, which, fun fact about cool mint flavor.
Yeah.
So most of the time it's pretty innocuous. Like, as you know, I can't do the citrus ones because they make me sick. The cinnamon ones are very like noticeable. Like, it's cinnamon flavor in your mouth the whole time, and you're gonna notice it. And I don't mind it, but definitely have to be in the mood for it. The cool mint ones I thought were like pretty not noticeable.
Okay.
But the other day I was driving and I had one of these in, and I took a drink of just water. And it like mixed with it and gave me like a medicine, like a mint medicine kind of taste. It's hard to describe. It was very much a flavor that I've had before, like cough medicine almost, but minty, and it was horrible.
Like a kaopectate kind of thing, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but sure, yes.
Okay. Interesting. That sounds like it would be tough, because at least what's the flavorless?
Smooth, just the smooth ones.
At least
I don't find to be flavorless.
No, they're not flavorless, but they do keep from flavoring like coffee and stuff when at least that was my experience. So that was nice. But also maybe that's not the best when you're rolling deep on some dip action. You don't want to be like, everything still tastes normal. Because then you get hopped up on caffeine and nicotine, and you feel like you're one of the bad characters in a video game or something.
Yeah, I had a couple of days like that. Like last week, I'm trying to figure out my the correct timing and limitations that need to be implemented to stay sane, because there were a couple of days where I had coffee and one of these, and I just had to go lay on the floor for about an hour. I was just a useless human being.
Weirdly, what you are explaining to me sounds so good, though. Like, just
It was super not, but it sounds good.
And I know, but there's that feeling of like having a little too much of something and being like, this sucks, and then just laying on the floor in the middle of the day. That's like, maybe it's just like, I've enjoyed days like that.
I definitely see the appeal of the floor generally. I like laying on the floor as an activity that I choose to do when it's out of necessity.
I like laying on the floor as a activity to deal with my internal thoughts about the end of all things. That's my preference for the floor usually. It's like, oh, the ocean's on fire, and then just like lay on the floor for a few minutes, feel what it's like to be in the world, and then you kind of like slowly get back out and start doing stuff.
Yeah.
But that's a different enjoyment from, oh, I gotta lay on the floor, which is also good, I think, sometimes. Not too
sometimes. Often. Sometimes it can be. I've trying to figure out how to keep it a good sensation and not a my head is going to explode if I sit here for one more fucking second kind of sensation. So
that's not preferable.
Yeah. What sucks about these is that like they make me, probably not in reality, but they make me feel intensely productive for about 30 minutes. And then it's all downhill from there.
You ever done drugs? Because that's what they do.
I think most of my contribution to this podcast is saying the very obvious things about drugs and alcohol out loud as if no one else has ever had these thoughts or come to these conclusions. But that's my contribution to all of this. So you're welcome, everyone.
I'm sure there are many there are many drug virgins who watch podcasts. That is a thing that can be useful.
I guess. Half the time the drugs that I'm talking about are just coffee, though.
Fuck. Well,
this is formed a film.
I guess that is part of the milk. Yeah. No chance that was going to happen. That is part of the milky appeal of it.
Episode named.
Oh. All right.
Hey, it's for the SEO. You have to name it these nasty, awful things, or else no one will find us. How will the target demo find our content?
I mean, the title options I had written down already were Street Violence O'Clock and questions about the goo. So I'm on the same page.
Okay, good. I do really like Street Violence O'Clock. That might need to be a t-shirt at some point.
Yeah, I think so. That could be an album, honestly. That's a pretty good one.
Yeah, I like that one.
I think all of our titles for this episode have come from you so far, so really doing some work over there on those.
Hey, I mean, I really just gotta hand it to my Ikezo Jelly Shot Fun for Life.
Well, that's why they call it Mama's Little Helper or whatever.
Uh-huh.
You don't like that?
What this is, it's helping me. Oh, God. Anyway, I think I interrupted your moving segment.
I don't think you did. But so just to run down the cool parts of the move, I got back into Kirkland with about the total of 1 week to have everything done, I believe. Like I had a fair amount of days that were like work that I wasn't going to be able to do much, and I got back a little over halfway through the month. So like I had a couple days extra because of the way that we ended up planning things out. But most of the packing had to take place during the heat wave, the record-setting heat wave in Washington,
Perfect.
Idaho, and Oregon, which I forget if it was Oregon or like part of Washington was the hottest place on Earth for like a couple of days.
I think it was Oregon.
Yeah, I think you're right. So that was interesting. There's definitely like a weird downplaying of how many deaths there were, of places just kind of being like, yeah, there were some deaths.
Just the normal amount of heat wave deaths.
It's cool. It's the hottest place on Earth, and also Seattle, the city, has like in the lowest number of air conditioning like abilities per housing, I think, of anywhere like in the country, or maybe even beyond that. So like a lot of people at risk. So the cool stuff that happened is, other than doing a lot of intensive packing and movement where I was often faint even though I was chugging water, I also on Saturday night, which was the night of the day that I had to move all of the furniture out of the house. So the last few days were literally just me and floors filled with things, like going through them and putting them into trash bags or other stuff for just days, which was hellish. But on Saturday night, Sunday night, so the day after all the furniture was gone, I had somebody staying for 2 days because their apartment was so hot that it was going to be like pretty dangerous. They were on the 4th floor of a place, and they typically are 10 degrees hotter than outside. So they came and stayed, and I basically put all of the cooling stuff that we had in the back room, and they slept on the floor with like a weird like floor unit like cooler and stuff. And it kind of trickled out into the rest of the house, and it did do enough work to like make it livable. Like it was 90-ish degrees in the house while it was 117 outside or whatever. However, Sunday night the power went out for like 6 hours or 8 hours, I forget. Right. So we just didn't have the ability to cool anything, and that was one of the main nights to like get packing and stuff done. So it was just like, it was completely dark for like half of that. It was rough. It got real hot. And then I think about giving you an idea of my scheduling. I think about 4 in the morning, it was finally like cooler outside than inside, so I opened up like all the windows so that it could kind of cool off, but it was rough.
Yeah, that doesn't sound ideal.
But we ended up moving. I ended up throwing away a lot. I'm glad that I know people out here to like take or house with like different setups, things that I can't hold on to if I'm going to be moving around a bunch. It's just it was a lot to deal with. Also, I had sort of absorbed magic card collections from some people. So I ended up with 2 like big like 50-pound boxes of magic cards, and it was just like staring at those.
Fucking lot of magic cards.
So fucking much. Staring at those. I have some friends who don't have a car who said they would take them, and it was trying to figure out like, well, how did these get to them in the like 3 days we have, and like this kind of weather. It ended up all more or less working out, but now I'm down by the airport with some, I don't know. I think I'm fortunate to have this kind of setup. I got some friends who were just like, I don't know, stay in our basement. This whole place was set up for me. I think this room was like practically adjusted. I will say sleeping on an actual bed has been weird. Mixed feelings about that still. Getting shit from my ex-roommate about like, oh, you just don't like the space. And it's like, no, it's not as comfortable. Like, it's good. I enjoy it, but I got rid of what I was sleeping on because it was like starting to have some like wear and tear on it because it's not meant to be a bed.
Yeah.
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 You know, it is what it is. I figure eventually I'll have to sleep in a bed anyway. Someday.
That is one compromise that may at some point have to be made. But
Whatever.
you never know. Yeah. You never know.
I could die next year. Maybe I won't.
That's true. You could get to the bottom of the Jungkook cold brew, and that could be it.
It's technically a cold brew Americano.
Okay. Well, then you're probably fine.
Yeah. It's just water and espresso. It's probably not, but that's what it's supposed to be. It's pretty good. I would still rank Mr. Brown, Boss Coffee, some of the others I've had above this, though. It's fine. But they don't have Mr. Kook on them, do they?
They don't, and that's the main thing that I look for in my assorted Asian coffees.
There's no boy on the front of it that looks like he would be in a boys love swimming manga. So how am I supposed to enjoy the coffee?
I need a coffee with a boy on the front who is pretty and would look very nice in multiple outfit changes in a single music video. That's what I want. And can dance.
Yes. Well, I don't know. I'm not passing any judgment on dancing, but sometimes you find certain videos and it's like they're really getting by on the sexiness because the dancing's not good. But I don't think you're allowed to think that, or at least say that publicly, because there's still a lot of Beatles fans out there, you know? It's just how it is. They're wrong.
Someone's gonna find you and murder you. This is it. This is the blasphemy that kills us.
One of my blasphemies when I was younger was when I found out that they were doing. My sister and I both love Nirvana, and we found out that what's his name, Paul McCartney, was taking over as the guitarist to do a tour of like, yay, Nirvana songs, which is already like, there's like 1.5 Nirvana albums that are worth playing. And it's old music, like it's still good, but it's not like I'm not a hold on to the old music person. I think we should always be moving, and you can have favorites, and that's cool. But like having Paul McCartney play Nirvana music felt like a betrayal to me, because it was like, this fucking asshole from like before I was born by like 2 of me is gonna sit around and talk about like the depression of having to deal with like abortion and drug abuse and Courtney Love being questionable and all this shit, and I'm supposed to pay attention to this old British man talk about like somebody's vagina being a cage that they can't escape from. Come on, like. Anyway.
That doesn't add to the experience for you.
No, it's like if it's like if it's like if Sum 41 started doing Doja Cat songs It's just like, oh, cool. I love sub porno. Like, what is wrong with people? Anyway.
I still kind of want to hear that, actually.
Yeah, I would listen to that too. But I like that shit.
That's aside from the point.
That's not the point.
I'm putting this away from me because Jenny is here now, and I want to make her try it. I don't think she will, but
if she pops in the room, be like, "This is really good. It's yuzu. You should give it a shot." Before I drink the rest.
As soon as it gets to here, she's gonna realize.
Yeah.
Chunks of it aren't moving.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it's part of the experience.
I guess the only topic we really went over or modern topic or something, is Andrew Yang spraying that kid's mouth. I say kid, but that guy looks like he's...
That's like, not a child.
That's not a kid. That's a guy being like, right here.
Right in here, yeah.
He found the optimal holes, and he went to Andrew Yang to get that completed. I hate all of what I just said, but that's okay.
Well, hey, if Andrew Yang's gonna be in charge of something, that might be it. He could do that.
Mouth completion.
If he could maybe shut up forever and do that instead.
Welcome to Andrew Yang's Bang Bus. We got...
Oh, no.
I can't. It's fine. People know what I mean.
I feel like this might be the episode that kills us. It won't be all the religion blasphemy, because that's kind of run of the mill at this point. I feel like it's gonna be the blue emoji hat people that come get us.
It's gonna be the people who are like, this was the best version of UBI. How could you speak ill of it? Instead of thinking for a second, how do I open this fucking drink? I gotta get wet over here.
I know a guy who can help you out with that. Yang gang.
Great, thanks.
The Yang gang bang bus. Andrew Yang, if you're listening, I would really like to be put in charge of your social media right fucking now, because I think I could do it really well.
I think the Yang Gang Bang Bus could have made it a lot further in those primaries, baby.
He might be president right now. Man, I gotta get more of these. These are good for me.
I gotta get more ramen in my life. Come on, baby. Oh, baby. God, man, this marble's bigger than I'm used to.
Yeah. Wow. That happens sometimes. Not kind of tangentially related to Andrew Yang, sort of. Have you seen, I think I saw this trending on Twitter for one day and didn't super pay attention to it, but
as most things do.
Yeah. There is I think a magazine being started up, or maybe it's not a magazine. I think it might just be a media company that was founded and formed by a bunch of rich white people, called Yoke TV.
Wait, Yoke TV?
Yoke TV. And oh god, wait, I gotta find this mission statement that they wrote, because it's so...
Wait, how is yoke spelled in this case?
YOLK.
Okay.
So I think there already was a Yoke magazine previously. I think I saw that, but these people are doing something else. And God, I'm like not gonna be able to find this. I should have. Oh, here it is. Okay. Okay. Yoke is the multimedia magazine for the uninhibited, authentic expression of Asian American identity. It's the end of doing what's expected and a celebration of all the colors in and around yellow.
Oh.
We we celebrate Asian American Pacific Islander creative voices and thought leaders on our platform. We appreciate content that explores the tension where the two Asian Americas, old versus new, intersect, and where Asians and near Asians coexist. And
Near
we're looking
Asians.
near Asians. And we're looking for lighter fare, including humor pieces and stories that surprise and delight.
Okay, so somebody's trying to make Heeb magazine, but for Asian Americans.
Yeah.
Because Heeb magazine really got rid of all the Nazism.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And here's the Yoke senior editor is a Heather Lowenthal. That I can't find the screenshots of like all of their staff, but it's just like white person, white person, white person.
No, hold on.
Here's Heather.
Near Asian.
They're near Asian.
Yeah.
They're so close.
She looks considerably less Asian than you do, and I don't know if that's a problem, but it seems strange considering it is a magazine for and by Asian people.
And near Asians, all the colors in and around yellow.
Technically, Alex Jones is near Asian because he has a Korean sister.
Yeah, that could work.
So maybe they can get him in there.
They
Sixes represent, obviously.
Heather Lowenthal is a Yoke senior editor and columnist writing about the cultural blind spots in her white perception revealed only after she married her Asian American husband.
Oh, that's what
These are the
Asian
bios they put on the website.
Oh, fuck. That's not good.
Here's something fun for you. She co-founded Seattle-based video production company Integrated Talent. So I don't know if you've heard of that or familiar, but
yeah, that's not exciting.
she did something.
Well, if that's what a near Asian counts as, they got to get Mitch McConnell in there.
Fuck. Yeah, he's pretty near Asian.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So that was a fun thing I saw earlier. The Andrew Yang talk kind of just reminded me of that. I don't know why, but.
Oh, side note. Maybe a production note ultimately, but Mike, Mary's husband, where I'm staying, he does a podcast about magic cards, and
he does the owner of one of your tubs of magic cards now.
No,
you weren't able to.
Those all went to specific people.
Oh.
He's got an entire closet of magic cards. I saw it. It's a lot. Oh, so he does live stream and does editing for his podcast. So I might be able to pick up some stuff from him, which is exciting.
Yeah, that would be great. If people could catch this in real time, I think that would really add something special.
Yeah. But he edits, I guess, like segments into his, maybe, from the sound of it. But if people want to look on our channel, they're one of the very few people we follow, so you can find that. It's the only one that's magic card related, I believe.
Probably.
I think we only follow like a couple of people.
Yeah, that sounds right. But yeah, people should go check them out. That's
yeah. Anyway, so you hear about this Batman doing oral shit? Whether or not it's canon and who's defending it, because that's
Surprisingly, no, this has not made it into my circle of awareness.
I'll go
No.
ahead and send you a picture real quick.
Yeah. Is it Andrew Yang in a Batman costume?
No, it's not better. I mean, the picture is fine, honestly. It's just, as it is, a lot of people are squeamish about women getting head in the first place, but this has just turned into such a stupid thing. And a thing where I feel like the circumstances of how stupid it is really lends to how obnoxious it has been dealing with sort of the way it's being portrayed. Where the fuck?
Okay.
God, I need to have less things on my phone.
I don't think that's the answer.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah. I feel like I also had something to send you. I can't.
It can't be this hard to find a picture of Catwoman getting eaten out. There we go. I may have ruined the surprise.
You ruined the surprise! No, it's still gonna work because it's coming to my phone. That's good enough. That's still a good surprise. Oh.
So there is a primary defender of this, as you will see, which is frustrating given all of their other opinions. And I'm not entirely sure I trust their opinion on this based on the way they have women portrayed in their movies.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I like this image.
It's kind of a good image. Yeah, I like it. Like in terms of like drawn like erotica, like it's not bad. Like having comic artists do that stuff is pretty decent.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you want to go out there and find a hot image of Catwoman and Batman, just look up Zack Snyder's Twitter, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I think he had that commissioned because people like were saying, hey, actually, no. So the real story to this is, I forget how it came up. No, it was going to be a scene that implied it in the adult cartoon for Harley Quinn. And Warner Brothers stepped in and said, Batman doesn't do that. Which is already like, so does Batman suck? Which I think in reality, yes, Batman sucks. Like that's the point.
Yeah.
He's like a weird techno-fascist. Of course he's like that. He's fucking one step away from being a subpar music producer. Of course he's not going to go down on people. But instead, the community lashed back and was like, what the fuck? Like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, we want to like Batman. And he's like, absolutely not, according to Warner Brothers. And then Zack Snyder came out and was like, no, because Batman loves box. He can't get enough of it. So apparently there's a defender in Zack Snyder for one specific thing I agree with.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure it's entirely publicity because I can't imagine Zack Snyder doing anything except I could see him putting it in a movie, but I think he would put it in a movie as like, look how far he's fallen based on everything else I've seen. So like
probably.
I just don't.
It's very interesting of Warner Brothers to be like, Batman doesn't do that. Instead of,
if I remember right, specifically they said like that's not heroic, which is also like okay. Cool. Honestly, I can't think like what is heroic then? Like what are you trying to angle towards? Is it just beating up brown people? Because Batman's done a lot of that.
Yeah. So I guess just every hero in the Warner Brothers extended universe of things is just, they just suck.
Yeah, because Marvel isn't gonna go there. Because fucking Wolverine, Ant-Man, come the fuck on. These people are. These people spend half of their lives at the end of the bed. That's not like gonna fly for Marvel. But like, I get it. DC has a bunch of people who are like, I don't know, boring. But
I mean, that tracks, I guess.
But still, that's a crazy thing to say as a company. Like, they could say, like, well, we're not sure if that's going to be appropriate for our adult cartoon.
That's what I would have expected, is something more along the lines of, no, that's obscene. We can't do that.
But like, I think that's the show that like Raul Coley's in and stuff that is specifically an adult cartoon. That's supposed to be one of the best things that Warner Brothers has out right now, is just like a Harley Quinn like cartoon comedy. I haven't seen it, but I've seen clips from it and it seems fine. But like, why would you draw the line at that, I guess, is my question for Warner Brothers, the purveyors of Lord of the Rings. There's a lot of people who do a lot of nasty stuff in Lord of the Rings, and I approve. And then like all of the DC Comics stuff, which you would hope people would be having fun in the DC Comics universe, but I guess they're not. They're just, I mean, according to Justice League, they're just fucking sex perverts that want to like touch people while they're in slow motion and fondle Wonder Woman and stuff like that. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine.
That stuff's fine.
Palatable.
That's
we can't
heroic.
get the general public down with that.
No.
Not gonna happen. Such a weird hill to die on, but okay.
Yeah.
I guess I also agree with Zack Snyder about one thing now.
That's, yeah, like, I didn't want to be in this position, but I guess I am. Which is what...
Thanks, Warner Brothers, for putting us in this position.
Yeah, thank you, Warner Brothers, for that. But also, like, specifically Batman and Catwoman, like, beyond any of the other characters, except for maybe Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy, are like the first people I would be like, yeah, of course. Like, they're like, what else are they going to do where they can keep their mask on? It's all like anal and oral. Like, that's everything they're into. They're fucking weirdos. Like, of course.
Yeah. The people who like to dress up as bats and cats aren't into going down on each other. They're not kinky like that.
I'm not
so
convinced.
Kinky also.
I'm not yeah, exactly. Yeah, big kinks over here. I'm not convinced that in a more realistic setting, Catwoman's outfit wouldn't be just a 24/7 butt plug based on the character. Like,
yeah,
that makes total sense to me. Like, but they have to like trying to clean up these characters that are like literally just violent freaks that are out there like having violence instead of sex. Like, I can't take it seriously when they're not into one of the like 4 most vanilla things you can do. Anyway.
Anyway, well, again, the image is good. So if anyone wants to look that up, it's on Zack Snyder's Twitter, I guess. Yeah.
Look up Zack Snyder's Conolingus Twitter.
No, don't. That's my alt.
Oh, wait, hold on. That's where I post my secret shit. I'll look up Zack Snyder's Conolingus Twitter.
I'm curious. Does that take him?
Yeah, actually, look that up, please.
Is it Zach with a C or K?
I think it's Z-A-C-K. I think it's both. I'll check the image I just sent you because, you know, I think it says on it. Yeah, it's Z-A-C-K-S-N-Y-D-E-R.
Okay, well, no one take it because we're taking it. It's ours.
Yeah, nobody take it.
No one take
I'll get just the corner for a preview in there. God, my camera's in a weird spot. I like that it just says Canon under it.
Yeah, I think so. That's good. Seems like it would be.
I
Should
think
be.
writing anything else would have gone bad because it's Zack Snyder. God, I hope people like coughing sound effects for this episode.
We've had a pretty solid sound effects episode, I think, between my jelly drink and your cough.
There's a lot of dry and wet noises that people are really going to have to struggle through.
Hey, there's a audience for everything.
Come for the hack, stay for the glug. Anyway, we've surpassed. I think
I'm gonna
300 million vaccinations.
Hey, nice.
It's behind schedule, but it's better than it could have been.
Good for doing it at all. You've already surpassed my expectations. That's something. I'm gonna go procure a Sapporo and also try and get Jenny in here for this.
Good.
So I'll be right back.
Sounds good. Let me see if I can find. I got a lot of very intimidating pictures of Madison while I was out there. Just usually like before we ate or drank something that was like sometimes good. But when drinking happens, especially in person, starts to turn a little bit aggressive. So I thought maybe finding one of those for the appeal of it would be amusing. I'm trying to think. There's one in particular that was pretty good, very threatening looking. Let's see. I think it's with fake sushi that we got at a gas station at 2 a.m. So there is another picture of her standing by a bush in a very... there we go. This is the face of somebody who is about to pull a knife out. That is the last thing you see. Also, this sushi was really bad, so don't.
Okay, they are currently mid quesadilla creation, so she will be in here when that's not happening.
That's okay. I showed the podcast a picture of you threatening me with fake sushi.
Oh, good. That's yeah, on brand.
It's a good picture. Actually, I'll send it to you so you know what I'm talking about when I say threatening.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
The way I described it, it looks like you are about to pull a knife out. If you weren't trying to unscrew the top of a Baja Blast.
These all sound like things that I would be. Oh God.
Yeah. Right?
Why am I so terrifying?
I have like 6 pictures where you are doing the same thing, just like looking over like, it's time.
This ends now.
Wow.
Oh God.
Well, the first and best one is probably still by that bush, but
oh no, my phone died.
Oh. You can plug it in if you want.
Well, I would have to root through my stuff to find a power brick because I left it somewhere.
Okay.
It's just gonna stay.
Uh, do you have a topic before I talk about other stupid shit?
Let's see, what was my first topic? Taking care of your meatbag self. So
Did you have a physical crisis?
when am I not? This is a more accurate question, but yeah, especially like the last couple of weeks, as you know, I've just been like weirdly anxiety ridden, and figured I've figured out. I feel like I go through this kind of cycle of things every few months where I'll get really anxious or just be having a generally bad time and kind of stop being a person and like doing people things like
Sure.
taking care of your body.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll do something small. And in this case, this last week, I started trying to do a skincare routine again.
Okay.
And I started doing it and I was like, "Oh,
Right.
this is good. Like this feels nice." And
It's like
like
I'm alive again a little bit.
kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I for like as you know, for I don't know, a couple of years was super into the skincare game.
Yeah.
Um and still am, but kind of lost a little bit of interest at one point because the community just is very like the skincare community. It's very
It's intense.
consumerist
Yeah.
driven. Like it's very what's like the new thing I can get my hands on, and that's everything. But um I just was like I need to find stuff that works and stick with that instead of just getting new stuff all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I started trying to make a conscious decision to do that, but I kind of gradually fell out of doing a real routine of like taking care of my skin or like just getting bad about washing my face, like taking my makeup off at the end of the night. And I started doing it again.
That's definitely not something that.
Yeah, definitely not something that is good for you. But I started making an effort to do that shit again. And it is insane just the small, like incremental difference that makes
Uh-huh.
for you. And just like being like, oh, I can not be a garbage person for a little bit. Like if I just do this small thing, it just makes me feel better.
Yeah.
And that was nice. I started doing the skincare routine again, started trying to um figure out like how to eat functionally at like
Mm-hmm.
normal human times
Right.
and normal human amounts.
Uh-huh.
And it helps. It's weird because like when you get into like an anxiety spiral for a while, like the last couple of weeks for me have been very uh like my anxiety has been like a severe hyper awareness of my body for some reason
Mm-hmm.
and like bodily needs and shit and but it presents in a way that's like any single sensation like I'm tired, I'm hungry, anything, my brain is like you fuck out and like what do we do about it? I don't even know. So
Yeah.
I would be like thirsty, hungry and not have like eaten in 12 hours or something and just been like panicking like what do I even do about this? I can't possibly solve this. But sometimes it is just really drinking water and washing your face.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't my anxiety I think surfaces differently than yours, but um during this like last week especially, I have had the closest to like a real depressive bout that I've had in a long time. Just
Mm.
because like I'm looking at a future that is completely up to me and very uncertain and requires help. And I'm also looking at leaving the majority of things that I have like uh taken as like what my life is like and just getting rid of them entirely. Like,
Yeah.
it felt like a sign that moving away was actually a really good idea, because while I was packing up, the guy who runs the main art group that I do stuff with, and the guy who ran the gallery that we did a lot of our group shows at already moved away. I talked to him during the pandemic while he was in the process. But the guy who ran the art group just moved to Las Vegas like last week. So between those things, it's just like, okay, so all of my thoughts about like my years of networking and a lot of the, like, I've had a lot of shows, both group and solo out here, and like none of that stuff matters now. Like I still have contacts. I still probably have like 4 or 5 galleries that I could like get into, but like it's so much less than what I had before the pandemic. And like going somewhere where everything is completely different is so much more like appealing at this point. But that just added to, because I was already feeling kind of depressed, it added to this feeling of like going from having sort of a web of like things that keep you like solvent in a community. Like you can kind of travel between places and people know who you are. People are like willing to work with you and people know who you know and stuff like that. To like, hey, do you remember that thing from like a year or so ago? Like I was part of that. And that's just like that mixed with the severe like exhaustion and stress of moving in 100-degree weather, and the like honestly just physical stress of like lifting things for days, and at the end of it being in a place that is completely different from the kind of comfort you're used to.
Right.
Which for me, granted, was a massage table and like a music playlist, but at the same time, like ending up somewhere like this, where it is a very different environment, and it is like this is much more of a real basement. Like before, I was in a place that was just sort of slightly underground. It triggered something in me that was very like I'm still kind of in the space where like I can't eat normally and I can't sleep normally, but I'm like starting to get that back on track. And like I want to shave. Like I haven't been able to like properly like deal with that stuff in the last like half a week or so. So I'm still trying to figure out that. I will show you later. I will explain it now to people. So I have a bathroom down here. The floor is like this. And it is a sink that has like weird things to hold it in place, and then a toilet, and that's it. And it works, but like I have to sort of go upstairs into what essentially feels like somebody else's home in order to like take a shower and stuff like that. And also like the couple that I'm staying with for this month is really good at developing their own way of doing things, but it is the kind of people that I know a lot of who are themselves, let's say, offbeat. So there's a lot of things about this house that are like, if that works for you. You know?
Yeah, I mean, being in someone else's house even temporarily is it's very different and definitely an adjustment.
I mean, what I'm sitting at right now for my like station to do this podcast is a table designed to hold a TV dinner tray, an old an old board that is used for like I've used in the past for like art projects. That's basically just an old board with like tons of like spray paint and stuff on it. And then on top of that, I have a box, a weird thing that holds a lot of my like vital stuff, like social security card, passport, stuff like that. That's this weird like container. And And then there's the little TV that I have that connects to stuff on that. And in front of it, on this board that's on a TV dinner tray, I have the laptop, the camera, the microphone, 2 drinks, and this light. So I'm literally sitting in front of like this much of just stacked shit that is designed to like do only what I'm trying to do, and everything around me is just spidery basement.
How spidery?
Not too bad, but like,
I mean, any amount is a challenge, but
yeah, it's not too bad, but it's definitely like every once in a while I'll see little tiny, almost clear spiders doing stuff, and it's like I can deal with that, but that better be it, because I'm gonna have to figure out a way to move this spider, and I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Probably have to do something like this. So
yeah, that would be a good instrument for it. We also like our front door area for some reason. Well, not for some reason. The screen door does not seal.
Oh, great.
Very well. So in our front like walkway area, sometimes on the ceiling there will just be a collection of like little beetles and little spiders and things. And I am the designated spider catcher. And you know me, I am not qualified for that job, and
No.
yet it is my job.
I would say you're one of the least qualified people I've met for that job.
So if for no other reason than I can't reach them most of the time, but also the fact that I have no interest in holding that job. But there's just like occasionally like a little just smattering of like little tiny bugs, and I think my family calls them elder bugs or elder. Yeah, that's what they call them, elder bugs. And I have found out recently that a lot of the names that my family uses for bugs are not like names that everyone uses for them. So I'll be like, oh, there's elder bugs, and
I was trying to describe to people all the elder bugs I saw, and they were like, "What's that?"
The fuck is an elder bug? Yeah, I was told what the name was for them, and I did not retain it because they're elder bugs to me.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What was the other one? Oh, I was talking to someone about earwigs. That's common though, right? Everyone calls them earwigs.
Earwig is a real name, yeah.
Okay.
That's what I call them, at least. I hope it's a real name.
So they're weird and not me. I just want
Yes. They're weird. Good. Whoever said they're not earwigs is...
Well, they said it wasn't so much they're not earwigs. It was like I was packing for a trip to McCall this weekend, and while I was packing, I threw some clothes into this bag, and then I went into the bag to get something back out, and there was an earwig crawling in my clothes. So I dumped everything out.
Fantastic. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, like that's where you want that to be. I dumped everything out and like stomped on it, and I killed the earwig. And I was telling this person about it, and they were like, I described the bug, like the pinchers and everything, and they were like, well, I know what that is, but I've never heard it be called an earwig. And I can't remember if there was an alternate name that they were using for it, or they were just like, that's a weird name. I was like,
you know, in this case, the person you were talking to is wrong. That is
okay. Thank you. I think
another thing for that.
I think that's pretty commonplace, but I wasn't sure because there are a lot of things that my family says that are like my mom's family, you know, is all from Kansas. I have a couple of weird, like, find out gradually throughout my life that no one around me uses or knows what they mean, except for Kansas people who I will probably almost assuredly never actually be around. So.
Kansas has nothing in it. At the risk of us, well, yeah, at the risk of us having Kansas viewers that are like, "Hey, fuck you, man. Enjoy your many theaters, but like, come on. You can't be an entire state based on having decent food and a lot of theaters. That's nothing. You're the middle of the country. Take that win. Everything else, you got Wizard of Oz.
They have Wizard of Oz. The only other thing I will say for Kansas is the lightning bugs are very, very cool, but that's not specific to Kansas. Yeah. So, but if all of Kansas could just be made into a drive-through lightning bug emporium, that would be fine.
This is our new nature preserve. This is where we keep our dust, some cicadas, and a bunch of lightning bugs.
Yeah.
To Kansas, this is the kind of threatening face I'm gonna send your way. Your ass is mine, Kansas.
I don't know why.
Oh, you didn't seem angry while I was here, but something made you angry.
I'm finding out that I have much more of a, like, I wouldn't even call it a resting bitch face. I don't think it's that. I think it's just like this face that I pull out at times for no reason that makes people think that I'm angry at them. Like,
it does not make me think you're angry at me,
well,
but I enjoy
you know me
it.
better.
I enjoy it a lot. And as somebody who has like, I would describe mine as like somewhere between resting narcissist face and resting like just complete asshole face. Because I have a problem where like I have to be showing up to places engaged with people if I'm going to like deal with them, unless they have some sort of weird S&M fetish. Because whenever I try to just be me and I'm not like super engaged yet, people think that I'm pissed off at them. So
yeah, that happens to me too.
Yeah. I think it is probably part of the problem with people who are wanting to look like a normal human when they're not actively doing something, and in looking like a normal human, we're actually looking like we want to kill somebody.
I look like a murderer.
Yeah.
Apparently. and it looks premeditated.
You look like a murderer, and I look like somebody who's like a side character in Death Note, who's just like, how am I gonna do this? It's just not great. Also, I'm usually listening to music, and a lot of that music is like, it looks like I'm listening to regular music, and then in my headphones it's like, ah! So I'm often just there like, yeah. And I think that probably comes across as weird to people when I'm like ordering a couple of whiskeys and a coffee and just sitting there like, yeah.
This is good. This is how it's supposed to be.
You look at the paper I'm working on, I'm drawing like a hot dog with like a face on it, but I look like I'm drawing a list of my enemies.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely a complicated aura to approach. For other people.
Complicated aura is definitely a thing I would attribute to myself, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. There needs to be more widespread understanding of general, I don't know, introverted people. I don't know if I would say introverted, but just
we need to find a way.
I'll apply that to myself. I don't know about you. I would definitely say introverted for me.
I'm introverted for sure. I fight through it, but yeah, I'm definitely one of those people. And I think it doesn't help that a lot of my way of dealing with introvertedness is taking my this is not a pop secret, but taking my my dad's actor qualities and just trying to emulate those. Because he can talk to literally anybody without seeming like a pest, and I have no idea how he can do that. Like, I mean, he was like attractive growing up, which helps a lot because he could like, everybody that he met wanted to talk to him, which was a good start. But like, he was one of those people where kind of like I have people come and tell me on the street, like, well, and like my friend Natalie, we both have this thing where people will come up on the street and be like, "Hey, do you want to know this secret about me?" Like I get the weirdo version of what my dad got, where he'd just be in a grocery store and people would be like, "Hey, how are you doing?" Like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
For seemingly no reason. Just who knows. So
But you get the version that's like, hey, you want to hear about this thing I did 20 years ago?
hey, you want to hear about this? Or like when I'm at a bus stop and the times I've had people be up and they're like, "Hey, I'm not gonna stab you. Don't worry. Let me tell you about this fucking bitch who was at this bus stop the other day." Like that kind of stuff. That's just like, oh, cool. Or when that guy who so now that you know a little more about this particular person, I had a dude like a year and a half ago, or a little longer, because it was like not too long before quarantine, on a bus that was leaving at like 12:30 and was late from Seattle back to where I lived. He looked exactly like Dirt Nasty, to the point where I was like, "Is this fucking Dirt Nasty?" for a second. And he was like obviously on coke. Like I've been around a lot of coke. I know what that looks like. And he was just like, he started off being like, "Man, let me tell you about the dream that I had. So fucking cool." I was awake during the stream too, so it was even better. And he starts telling me about this stuff, like this, like basically describing what would be a cat flying through the universe hoodie, but for like 10 minutes. And I was like, dope.
Is
And
he
then
describing the toaster cat meme? Is that what
basically. um, so he's describing this thing, and then he gets to this part where he's like, something, something, and I had, and they were just like, no, don't use the knife. Like, and I just kept going for it. And it was this thing that slowly turned into like, okay, you're describing what I don't know is imaginary or real, of you stabbing somebody. That's interesting.
Mhm.
Dirt Nasty Part B. And then he's like, yeah, I'm just waiting for a bus. And uh, and then the bus pulls up finally that I'm getting on, and it's very clear that like I get on the bus and he looks and he's like, "I'm gonna get on this bus too." And he doesn't have any money, he doesn't have like a bus card, he doesn't have any of that stuff. And so I get on the bus and go to the very back, and then he gets on the bus and is having an argument with the bus driver, and then like somebody from outside who like works for transit comes up and they're like, "Hey, what are you doing, man?" And then they decide by the end of it, go ahead and get on the bus. So so he comes back and he's like sitting a seat in front of me, and he keeps like he's not talking to me because I have like headphones in, but he keeps like kind of checking where I'm at. And then I get off the bus in Kirkland, where I was currently living, and he gets off the bus too. And that is like the only time where I've had to have my roommate come and like, I was like, "Hey, drive around the park and like come up from the other direction, and we're gonna act like we're going somewhere else, because this guy can't know where we live." uh, and as we were leaving, I saw like in the distance him at the bus stops, just kind of like walking back and forth, like aimlessly. Very weird. But that's a fun little story about the kind of people who like to approach me in public. I also have an aura that apparently says, "Hey, extremely drunk lady or extremely drunk guy, why don't you come tell me about things you really care about and try to hit on me in the middle of the night? Because that's going to work." Because that's definitely an aura I apparently go off to. Anyway.
Those are fun auras.
Nope.
I think actually I need to figure out how to, in specific situations, lean into the "I might murder you" aura, because I have such a hard time leaving conversations, especially in like bars or drinking scenarios, when someone comes up to me and like when I was telling you about oh, we didn't go there, but that one bar downtown, um where I had headphones in, was on my phone doing work, and someone still kept coming up to me and trying to talk to me. That would have been a really good time to channel the "I'm going to murder you and I have planned this" face, but can't do it on command. Apparently I can only do it to my friends. So that's good.
I will say it helps to be wearing a jacket. If you can have clothing that makes it look like you might be hiding something, that helps a little bit.
I do have, yeah, okay. I need to get just like a oversized like puffer vest or something. Maybe not puffer vest. I don't know, something more menacing than a puffer vest, but something with a lot of pockets. So there's a lot of possibilities, and they're probably all just going to be full of like gum and Zin. But
you did say possibilities, correct?
I said possibilities, but it might have. I tried to say possibilities.
Ooh, the possibilities.
Oh, the possibilities.
You also gotta get used to when you're just hanging out places doing like
crazy eyes.
You gotta do a little bit of that, or people are gonna think you're too normal.
Yeah.
Or maybe like muttering to yourself just a tiny bit, just so people know that you're like a little bit not correct.
Little bit unhinged. Yeah, but you have to like really. I think you have to, especially as a woman, you have to really send it with being unhinged, because there's a real spectrum of unhinged that people are very okay with.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of really go for it, and I don't know, maybe I could get there.
I think, you know what, if we live near each other, I think I can help define that look.
Well, it seems that if you're around, I'll probably be making that face at some point anyway.
Yeah, good practice.
Unintentionally or not. So,
yeah, it's just sort of like, hey, do you want to go get some like midnight tacos? And then just like, yeah, you'll get there.
Yeah.
I think this is both a unapproachable style, partially intimidation, and also something that might help with the overall like looking dangerous thing. I think you need to eventually start working in some collarbone tattoos, and also you're going to need to get one of those like finger talon things to wear when you're
like the rings that are nails.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be pretty good. If I could I just need like a super villainous costume to put on. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who would have that, but
you got to invent it. You got to figure out how that's going to go for yourself, I think. Cuz I think you're the only person who's going to be able to determine, is this going to be unapproachable or is this going to be unintentionally cute? Because there's such a fine line there that like that's like, for a while I considered wearing this jacket I found that had like a weird fur line to it, because I was like, this will make me look like a douchebag if I wear this when I'm at the cafe/bar where I like to draw. People will just leave me alone. And then it did not work that way.
Does not work. Yeah.
Turns out some people way into that shit.
So you're saying that like a Catwoman costume is probably not the way to
go. The problem is, I think, well, I would love that. I think that it would be great for you too, but I also think that like there's going to be an unfortunate group of people who are at least going to probably have, well, a mix of high and low anxiety. Some of them are going to be like that guy at the bar who was like, I've been listening to everything you've said and listen to when you laugh, like that guy. And then also, yeah, and then also the people who are like, you look like you might like my comic book collection, I'm sorry. Like those guys too. So like there has to be some aspect of it that's a little less noticeable than
that.
Gotta go more grunge, like crust punk, and a little less grunge, like lollipop core, or you're gonna end up in the wrong space.
I'll keep workshopping this idea.
Yeah.
Keep at it.
Just watch that Channel 5 video that came out about the like pickup people, like the guy who's made out with the most people in the Guinness Book of World Records or whatever, like those sad fucks. Watch that video and try to envision something that they wouldn't approach. And it's hard, but it's gotta be. Honestly, maybe you need a shirt that says "Ask me about my kids."
Ooh.
That could be pretty good.
Or, alternatively, I could just look up whatever fucking outfit that was and wear that for the rest of my life. Oh, you know what? I was looking through those pictures again, trying to discern, like, what was it about me that day that just gave off those vibes? It was the fanny pack. Obviously.
Fuck yeah.
Obviously. I don't know why I didn't put 2 and 2 together before, but I was like, it's the fanny pack, because I wasn't wearing it in a cool way, like the cross shoulder or anything. I just had a lot of stuff to carry, and a fanny pack was the only practical and fashionable option. And that just read as I am a mother of a child who is half my age.
Whatever you gotta say to make yourself feel better, but also, like, I don't think you're entirely wrong. I do think you could have been, like, you would have been less approachably carrying stuff if you just had, like, a paper grocery bag with stuff in it. But that could also be, like, too momish. But I think that style of mom might have been too much for them to approach.
It might have been. I think there is a. Oh, this is short. Come in. Hello. Okay, come try this nasty ass drink. Are you considering? Oh, I gave it away. It's not nasty. It's very good.
Hey.
What?
Chris? What drink is it?
This is a mark.
It's good. It's a yuzu drink.
God.
It's yuzu flavored.
Is it this?
Yes.
Yeah, it's in the cup.
With anything?
Nope.
Oh, I know what this is. I've had this before. Yeah.
Keep going. You got to get the flavor in there.
Oh my gosh. It's so gummy.
You should have seen me trying to pour it into that jar. It was a task.
Wow, I like it.
Good flavor.
Oh, a jelly shot? Is it sake? Sake? Whoa. Dude, I really like yuzu. I kind of like this.
It's pretty good. The texture is like but
It's not.
Well, I really like yuzu. That's funny.
Do you think you would prefer this?
Oh god.
Oh my gosh. I think I've tried that.
Actually, the lemonade's not so bad. The jalapeno wine is terrible.
Yeah.
No, Madison, I would drink this. I'm weird. I like textures
No,
like that.
I like the flavor of it. I think the texture just.
Dude, you need to try the yuzu coconut water, sparkling coconut water from Trader Joe's. It's so good.
I haven't seen that yet. That sounds
It's
good.
so good. Here, I'll give you back to Madison. Well, thank you for letting me try that. Honestly, big fan.
I just brushed my teeth and I know what it tastes like, but yeah.
Would you? Yeah.
Chug the whole thing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very
Mark.
good.
We're gonna go to my work now.
Okay.
Why?
Have
What?
fun. You look
I'll be
cute.
there for 2 minutes.
Why are they going to Kim?
I'm guessing that they're like. I don't actually know. I thought it was later than it is. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they're catching up with people. They won't focus. Hello? Okay, there it is. There it is.
Yeah.
I think it's always really funny when I have when we podcast and then I invite Jenny in here because she knows that usually by this time I'm like drunk.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's
Wait, how would
funny
she
to-
know that?
I don't know. It's probably the face, the
Hey, Jenny, come in.
come in, come try. Probably something around that. But Mark really likes us. Everyone really likes us. I like it. It's just I wish the texture was like condensed into like squares or something and not just a
Yeah.
blob of goo. Because it really
Something that
hits
I'll
you in
probably
the face.
do. I'll probably do it in the next podcast, but I have a boba canned drink that I was excited about, but Mary and I tried hers like a day or so ago, and it's the boba that are like not quite right. They're like a little too close to crunchy.
Yeah.
They're those. I don't understand. Like, I get maybe the regular ones would like absorb in or something,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just not the same. Like, why would you want that?
That's always been my problem with canned boba. It's not the same. There's not the chew that I need from a
I
regular boba.
I need a big, weird, chewy blob. Not
Mm-hmm.
too big, but appropriately large, chewy blob.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
I don't know, the canned ones have just never done it for me.
Mm-hmm. Well, John McAfee died in a Spanish prison. How do you feel about that?
Do I know who that is?
The guy who made McAfee antivirus software.
Okay, yeah, yes. Okay. Uh, I don't. Cool. I don't.
Into it.
All right.
He's been like a weird, fucked up libertarian for a long time, and Alex Jones is turning that into like we were good friends and they murdered him because they're after me. Like it's all that kind of shit. Um,
Um,
he's trying to say that they Epsteined him, which is like, no.
what were the circumstances of his death? Was it
So
like get killed or did he just die?
no, he just died in prison. He killed himself very clearly. So what happened is for like either 10 or 15 years, he has been living on a boat, like a nice boat, because he's like a many millionaire. He might have actually been a multi-billionaire at some point. I forget. And he basically took to that weird thing of like, well, if I'm just in international water at all times, they can't tax me, which is crazy because they can. Like that is specifically how the USA works. Even if you live in another place, they still tax you because our country is terrible. But the point is, he was like specifically trying to leave the country because he's some weird libertarian, like non-tax person. And then he ended up in, I want to say it was like Guatemala or something, where like his neighbor got murdered, and it was very obviously like he did it. And then he was all of a sudden like on the ocean again, like, no, I don't know what happened. And that was like a few years ago. And then he has been like, he and his like weird new wife or something have been like off on the ocean and like literally just going places in like Europe, and then as soon as the authorities get wind, going to a different place. Like that has been his whole thing for a while. And he was in Spanish prison once before. He's been in, I guess, a few prisons before. But this time, they like actually had something that he might get extradited for. Like I think he had done videos online specifically telling people how he had stopped paying taxes for like 10 years and how to do it or some shit like that.
Cool.
And so the US was finally going to like extradite him back and like, I think more likely than not, charge him with stuff and then put him in prison for like a year or two, because that's what always happens to these people.
Yeah, I wonder why he was so bent out of shape over it. That's not how that usually goes for people.
Yeah, but apparently the way they were presenting it was, because he's like 75 when he died or something. They were saying like, oh yeah, like the charges could be as long as like 20 years. So people were like, well, he's going to die in prison then. And then like 6 months ago is when he got arrested or something. And when he got arrested, he was like, the food's great and I love it here. But he had like already been in Spanish prison briefly before and just let go. And this time, since he wasn't, all of a sudden his I think his Twitter started turning, which I don't know how the fuck it couldn't have been that bad. He's still like tweeting about shit, but his Twitter turned into like I can't communicate with anybody. I don't like it here anymore and stuff like that. But everybody's ignoring that and saying like, oh, he loved it there and he likes the food from like fucking last year, and trying to make that into the thing that's like, well, he would never have killed himself. But his recent tweets were like, I'm gonna kill myself. And he did apparently, and now Alex Jones is all over it. But anyway, I think McAfee antivirus software is garbage. It's basically been the most prevalent version of spyware to be given to all of our parents our entire lives.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody acts like it's fine that that's what it is, and that the person who made it is like a billionaire. And then also McAfee was way into QAnon. So they had, I think after he died, they're saying like his wife or somebody who knew him put up a thing on his Twitter that just has a Q and that's it, or some shit like that. And it's like, cool, great. We need more of that going around.
Yeah, that's what we were missing.
Yeah, more Q shit.
Great.
Anyway.
And I'm glad Alex Jones is in the mix of everything too. That's perfect.
If Alex Jones is in the mix, you know it's got to be good.
Very good. Speaking of prisons,
good.
Bill Cosby was released from prison.
Oh, I just spilled Fernet Blanca all over. Oh, it's oilier than I expected. Weird.
Why that? Oh no.
Glad I have these weird paper towels that I always keep around me to facilitate my clean freakness.
Just for situations like oily Fernet Blanc.
Yeah. I don't know if I was there long enough for you to catch on, but I'm like kind of a cleanliness weirdo sometimes.
Yes, I did catch on to this.
Really? That's
although
I was trying not to be weird, but
well, we're also on the outset of a pandemic, so
yeah,
understandable.
I will say most of my clean freakness comes from real things. But
I think that's how it is and starts for most people.
Yeah.
It's not like there's not things to be afraid of. There's plenty of things to be afraid of. What have you done?
Well, this is the Fernet mixed with Ramune to give it a little body. It's dark. I'll give it that. Tastes pretty good. What's the flavorant? Well, it's all in Italian, but It says that it's flavored like mint, cola, and coffee.
It's a good mixture of things.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah, mixed with ramen.
Yeah. My lungs are also getting a workout from having a lot of cat hair and a lot of dog hair in this house. When I'll show it to you in a bit. When I walk up the steps from here, you literally have to walk in the center of the steps because both sides are like piled with dog hair. So
yeah, that sounds like a dog home.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. I'm still de-furring a lot of my clothing just from the few days that I was in Coeur d'Alene with my dogs.
So I'm actually curious, how was the fucking heat in Coeur d'Alene while you were without cooling and also like
mid-crisis?
Yeah.
It was not pleasant. I tried it was doable only because our house has a boat slip, so I spent a lot of time down there.
Okay.
Taking the dog and being in the water. That was kind of the only way to really escape it. Other than that,
That's good.
I hung out in the basement a lot and laid on the floor a lot. I felt really bad for Hank, our black lab, whose like hind legs don't really work anymore because he couldn't really. I was like trying to herd him into the most comfortable rooms and the most comfortable spaces, but he was just not really having it most of the time. So, and then I don't remember if I sent you pictures of this or not, but I tried to we had like a kiddie pool in our garage, so I pulled out the kiddie pool and on our porch filled it with water and tried to make a pool for him because he can't make it down to the lake anymore or the river. So I tried to do that, but he was not interested in
Getting
trying
in.
that either. Yeah.
You told me that existed, but I didn't hear that it didn't work.
It did not work. I just kind of ended up having to pour water on him a lot of the time.
What is your other dog's name? Tobe?
Tobe is the previous dog.
Okay.
Tobe is R.I.P. Tobe.
Okay.
Toby. And then now we have Lainey, but we just call her Lane.
Okay. So Lane soaking wet, I definitely saw, and that was funny.
Oh, damn it. My phone's dead. I have some really good pictures to show you of her.
Okay, well, you can plug that in a bit. The photos of you initially trying to keep cool were very amusing. At least the ones that I saw. Also, the dog panting was a lot to deal with.
Yeah. The dog panting is a real problem. I think actually medically a problem. And I'm thinking he's done it forever for a really long time. So I think a bit of it is that he has like dog anxiety, but but I think I was talking to a friend who also had a lab who did the very same thing, like close to the end of that dog's life, and that was very much a symptom of the underlying factors that I believe probably Hank is dealing with. So Hank's days are probably numbered. Sad. but
I'm gonna just ignore the way you said that, but I get what you mean.
I'm gonna be really sad about it. That's the only way to deal with with animal pet death is just treat it as if it's never going to happen until it happens.
Yeah.
So Hank is going to live forever and everything's fine.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
One of Mary's dogs also does that, which I found out since I've been here. I'll be upstairs and they will be doing stuff and the dog will just be like, it's like, fuck.
Well, I mean, it's hard to tell, especially right now because it's heat wave. So
This,
I don't know.
I don't know, but this dog is doing it at night and it's just like, great. Cool.
Maybe it has dogxiety.
I think every single living thing in this house has anxiety. And probably has dogxiety as well. It's honestly like you could do a thesis about the inhabitants of this house and you would have a lot to write about. I like all of them. I'm just saying, I think they would agree with me.
Yeah, from what I know of them, I don't think you're saying anything out of turn. Yeah. That's one thing I am scared about getting a pet at any point is I feel like I would pass on like anxiety to my animals. So it's got to be something super
chill.
Like yeah, something that won't pick up on that. Like, but I've already tried fish, and I know fish don't. I mean, they might get anxiety, but the fish didn't really work out.
What did you do to fish? There's not much there to like.
I did not do anything to fish on purpose.
What did you do to fish?
I accidentally unplugged their water heater, and the fish did not make it. But the snail made it a really long time.
Sounds like you had a pet snail. That's cool.
Yeah, I did have a pet snail. The fit. Oh God, I don't know. That's a whole other podcast. My experience with fish, but
I look forward to that podcast. That podcast sounds weird.
It's not that bad.
Okay.
I just carry around a lot of guilt about it. I don't like talking about my fish experience because I did them kind of dirty.
Okay.
And I didn't mean to.
One of my people I know had a monkey and things went wrong. So like I'm not here to judge.
What went wrong with the monkey?
Talk about it later. Hey, sometimes when you have really rich friends that are from countries that don't have the same laws we do,
oh, no.
Things happen.
God. There are not laws, but if you go this might have been very specific. So my experience in procuring fish was in Moscow, Idaho, and we had one particular guy at the PetSmart who was selling us this fish, and he was doing a really good job. Like he was really making sure that we were prepared to take care of these 2-inch-long fish. And he was like, you need a 50-gallon tank because anything less is animal cruelty. And I was like, but they're an inch long. Like a 50-gallon tank, that's half of my apartment. That's not going to work.
It's a big ass tank.
And that's what he wanted us to purchase for 2 Tetras. And I was like, no, I would love to have the space and the financial means.
Listen, guy, I'm going to kill these soon enough.
Listen, it's not going to live very long. That was not the conversation. He was doing a good job. He was doing his job, but he was very I would say, overzealous about making sure that these fucking Tetras would have the time of their lives inside of my apartment in Moscow, Idaho. And I'm sorry to say that I probably did not provide the best living environment that Tetras could have because they're Tetras and they probably shouldn't be in my house in the first place. But I did my best.
Yeah. Hey, it's just a couple of Tetras. It's not that big a deal.
That woman at Jump thinks I could have a child. I should have sat her down and told her about my Tetras.
Listen, lady. My kid wouldn't be singing The Weeknd, first off.
First of all. I mean, actually, he might, but he'd be doing it better, and he would not be singing that song.
Yeah, the song choice. Okay, look, 14-year-old kid. Listen to good Weeknd if you're going to listen to it.
He knew words.
Get on Trilogy or get the fuck out, because that latter day Weeknd is not fantastic. You want to get on that good shit. Yeah. Talk about, get into those songs where he's talking about like stealing Drake's girls and stuff. Like, that's going to be the stuff you want.
Yes.
Stuff where he's like way into cocaine. That's the stuff you want. You don't want this fucking
stuff,
garbage.
Right? That's the stuff you pull out at karaoke.
Yeah.
Not the shit that no one cares about. Make your mom proud.
Make your mom proud and do the good Weeknd.
I'd be such a good parent. Wow.
I think you would be a good parent in some ways, but not others. And I feel like I'm in the same boat. I think I would be great with kids, but I would be a terrible influence. I think there's a lot of that action.
Yeah. I think so. Every time I'm around small children, I converse with them like they're an adult.
Yeah.
And because I don't really know what else to do with them. And I think it's fun because they're like, kids are smarter than people give them credit for, and they're usually like fine.
I was conversed
carry on
with
the
like I was an
great.
adult my entire life, and I turned out fine.
Right?
All right.
Exactly. Yes. Like I was always talked to like I knew about everything that was going on.
Yeah, and it turned
out for the most part, and it turned out really good. And I
inferiority complexes. We don't have any kind of like insecurities.
No anxiety disorders. It's totally fine.
We don't feel like we should have already been dead, so we're kind of like living on borrowed time. None of that shit happens to us. It's just sort of like normal kid shit, right?
Can you imagine that instilled into like a 4-year-old? Jesus Christ.
Can you imagine how horribly garbage we would be if we were incredibly confident? Like, there is a world where we are actually terrifying people.
I think about that sometimes. Like, if I had my same personality and just cut out all of the social anxiety and everything that makes me like afraid to exist in public spaces, I feel like I would be pretty damn unstoppable.
I think we would have a lot of money, and we would have like inadvertently murdered someone by now. Like, shit would have gone real bad for us if we didn't have anxiety, and that's sort of like maybe a good thing for society in a weird way.
Yeah.
But hard to say. I know when I look at the things I've done in my life and I think about like, what if I was like super confident? God, it would be terrible.
No, it's good that I'm this way. It's good. For whom? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately it'll work out, I guess. I'm not having kids. That's all.
I think we're in agreement on that. Kids can't happen. We're both menaces to society if we become parents.
I can I don't know. I have a brother. He'll have children someday. I can
Yeah, same. I have a
fuck with them.
sister. She'll get that shit done. Also, I don't know. Our siblings, they're fine, I guess. Oh. Fine.
Does your sister watch this podcast? You can't say that.
She knows. She knows what she is.
knows she's fine.
She's not having kids. Neither of us are having kids. We both got problems.
Well, ow. The unfortunate thing is
Yeah.
people don't really stop having kids just because they have problems. So I think
Fucking
my
sad.
brother will be fine. I'll have nieces or nephews someday. Someone's got to make it happen for my family because it's not going to be me.
I'm really excited to meet Aunt Madison in the future. You're gonna teach them the coolest swears.
Yeah. Yep. I'll put them on that Wolf Quest shit early. They will know. They will know.
We want to play Wolf Quest Anniversary, and then eventually your brother's gonna have to get a wolf next to those cowboy boots. It's the only way it's going down.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Gotta make your kids proud.
I was
Can
explaining.
you declare Subaru rules inside of the podcast?
I don't know. Nobody say anything to anybody.
No. No one.
It's cool. I've been very strict with the Subaru rules, even to close friends, and I expect that to be in perpetuity. I did, however, not a Subaru thing, but I was caught describing to a close friend what the different parts, technically the 7 pieces of the Bionicle logo and what they mean to somebody. So it's always on the cusp. There's always some shit that's like, I shouldn't be doing this. What's my problem?
I can't.
Did you know that this part of the logo means the protection that the Loa offer? Sorry, the Toa. It's not a real religion. Anyway, we don't have to talk about that.
Oh God. See, this is another reason why I can't have kids. I can't have people on this planet birthed from me that find this shit. Like no one can know. Other than the people who clearly know and are going to have a watch party about this later.
Yeah. Editor, if you could just take back the last 5 minutes of the stuff I said, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steven.
Steven!
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 Cut it! Undo it, please.
That's a joke for 10 people.
God, we might actually have to get a Steven at some point.
Fuck yeah.
We might be nearing the time. We've got at least 200 hours in this podcast.
No, we've got 250.
Shut up. It might be done.
Well, speaking in a real way here, this isn't a joke. There is a very real possibility in the next few months that this podcast stops being quite so camera to camera and starts being recorded potentially in a one shot. And I think that might be a point where we actually have to start considering where it goes and who maybe helps us. Because shit could get... I feel like if we're any more comfortable with what we're doing than we are right now, I'm a little afraid of the directions that this shit could go. Because we're already like one step away from Subaru secret territory, and like, also, holy shit, I did not realize the amount of people who were going to accost me about the 6 on the oyster.
Really?
Yes, there has been
a thing.
a whole lot of like, not important, don't worry about that, and a lot of like, you can tell me, I'm your friend happening, and it's not gonna happen, like, but fuck.
That's that was a huge topic of debate on my other Discord server, and they will watch this later, and I'm speaking to those people right now. You need to chill. It was literally exactly what I told you. They all developed... I wasn't in the call, so I don't know what happened, but they all developed their own theories about what the 6 means. And literally when I posted the picture of it, I also said the 6 is for the oysters. And for the next 4 days, what does the 6 mean? What does the 6 mean? It's the oysters. Chill.
Of course, there is a point, but the 6 is for the oysters. That is the final word. Anything else is not for you, so don't worry about it.
Exactly. That's the public lore.
Yeah.
And we'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
I came back, I did not check that server for a few days, and I came back to so many questions. Like,
well, I mean,
it's not
it's not like our last podcast was particularly good at discouraging questions, so I guess that's fair, but still.
I guess. I would say that probably most of our podcasts inspire more questions than answer them. So that makes sense. But also some things are just exactly what they appear to be a lot of the time. Some of the time.
You know, I will say, if people do want something to do that isn't speculating about things that we're not going to tell you, go ahead and download the Enya app. That's ENNEA capital APP, and tell us what your number is.
Mm-hmm.
That is something that I would love to know. If you guys want to give us your ratio of numbers, we can kind of see what we're dealing with. I'll be into that. I mean, we got a 6 and a 4. So, you know.
Yeah.
Find out what that's about.
Yeah, I won't even get into that. Yeah. You find out what that's about. I'm not gonna get into it. They can do that research on their own time. But I highly suggest that everyone do the Enneagram test because it is the most obnoxiously accurate personality test I have ever taken.
Yeah.
Like frustratingly so. Yeah.
No secrets involved. Imagine Madison and I sitting at a table across from each other, head in hands, reading our fucking descriptions of how we interact, and it being like, here's something disturbingly accurate. What would you like to know about your own personal information? Is it everything? Great. Here you go.
Hey, you want to know the very specific things that you'll have like addictive problems with for the rest of your life? Probably. It's on there. You can find it.
Yeah. Why are you close friends? Here you go.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
I know I'm telling everybody to do it, but also like, mind your own business.
You don't have to. Do it for your own personal self.
Yeah.
And then maybe the compatibility, or not really compatibility, but just like the relationship combinations are also very interesting. So if there is like a person in your life, that would be probably good to know, because every single one that I have looked up has been incredibly accurate to the relationships that I've had with those people. So
Go ahead and look up
have
your dog.
fun.
Yeah. Fill out a questionnaire for your dog. Find out what's going on there too.
I feel like Lane is a type 2. I don't know the rest of the types very well, but I think type 2 is just very golden retrievery.
Okay, well, that is what I got a couple years ago, so I don't know how to take that, but sure.
I think it's very like, why is my phone dead? This is so annoying. I'm like completely useless and helpless to the entire world. I don't have a phone. I don't remember. I think it was just like generous and caring and like very focused on other people's needs before your own. That seems very golden
Yeah, I think
retriever-y.
that's about where it was. Also disturbing thinking about that and moving to a 6 apparently, which is just those kinds of things but more focused towards one person. So great, thanks everybody. Enneagram fucker.
Fuck you. Enneagram Institute.
Yeah.
Not very nice of you. But everyone should do it. I think it's better than Myers-Briggs.
Yeah, I think so too. I think the Myers-Briggs is very like it's okay for normies. If you're somebody who's like, I love to go hiking on the weekends, and that's like your entire profile on something,
yeah,
go ahead and take the Myers-Briggs, because who gives a shit? You're boring. You may as well take it. The Enneagram thing, while I think it has its own problems, it does kind of look at more like how you act towards others, which is, I think, way more useful to who you are than just, do you like blank?
It's very like identity focused also on like how you see yourself and how you see yourself in the world. I think that's incredibly invasive but helpful. Sort of,
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. Since I took it, I've been like, I see exactly how it all applies to me, and it makes so much sense. I don't know what to do with that information. I don't know if I can.
Honestly, I'm usually trying
it.
to not remember it because I can't deal with that in my day-to-day life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, there's so much of this jelly drink.
This is both the last of the Fernet and the last of the Ramune, which is disturbing to me.
The space between my two front teeth is just big enough that I can get like all the jelly through it, and it like makes it work.
Yeah, I've seen those videos. I need to get out of this basement. Shit's getting weird.
Well, the good news is we're nearing the end, and I'm nearing the end of being like coherent anyway, so house tour might be a good idea.
Yeah, I think we're about to break on the podcast. You guys won't have to deal with my extreme lighting anymore until next week, and then we should use the bathroom because we both have to. I know, almost certainly. And then I will give you the weirdest house tour you've probably had in a while.
Cool.
Yeah.
That works for me. Oh, my second topic was just the fact that I I got a new camera, or a webcam, that like kind of works. I'm still trying to figure it out, but it's possibly going to be a vehicle for like streaming this or doing something. I don't know. And then I may explore streaming whatever bullshit it is that I do for the rest of my life.
I am really excited about the prospect of streaming. I hope that we can collaborate on some things where I make you play video games that are weird. I have, like I said, I will give you access to a library that I think last time I checked on Steam said like 750 games, which is embarrassing, but also accurate to the kind of human being I am. We'll see. I also, provided I get out there, may be providing you with a thing that will make certain other games much easier to stream. So we'll see how that works, but I don't know. I have a lot of dumb shit, and I think I would like other people to be involved in using it, because I'm honestly a little oversaturated with the things that I have. Even after getting rid of so many of them, it's still like, oh, right, this thing allows me to do this. Fuck.
Well, there's nothing that renews interest in stuff that you have better than watching your friend probably like kind of drunk doing it again for the first time. So
hell yeah.
Yeah.
You've never played Metal Gear Rising?
I know the answer to that question.
For people out there, Metal Gear Rising has you fighting a senator at the end, and this is in 2014, I believe it came out, that says to the main character, "I'm gonna make America great again." 2 years before Trump was running. It's like weirdly prophetic of like these hyper libertarian future, and it's made by a Japanese guy who was just trying to predict how bad America could go. So I have a lot of things like that that are a dark mirror into our unfortunate reality.
Fun.
Yeah. Like a black-pilled grandpa just sort of flying off into space. I have been here for a decade, and it's true. We're all gonna die.
Yeah.
Also, somebody saw that playlist that I made recently and was like, "Oh, are you in the Church of the Cosmic Skull now?" So I feel pretty good about that.
That's good. I like that. That's very nice.
Me too. All right. I gotta pee. So this.
Yeah, I do too.
This has to end.
Begone thoughts.
Bejabbers and McClunky? Pretty sure.
Yeah, I think so.